Welcome. We learn about the grief of never becoming, why we mourn the lives we didn't live. Close your eyes and think about the person you almost became. The musician who gave up the guitar for a stable paycheck. The writer who chose law school because it was practical. The lover you walked away from because the timing wasn't right. The city you never moved to. The risk you never took. Every single choice you've made has killed a version of yourself. That doctor you could have been. Dead. Died the day you chose business school. That marriage to your first love. Dead. Died the moment you said I need to find myself first and never came back. That artist living in Paris. Dead. Suffocated under a mountain of responsibilities and safe choices. You're not just one person. You're a graveyard of potential selves. And the tragedy is, you're mourning people who never got to exist. Futures that died in possibility. Lives that were terminated the moment you said, maybe later instead of right now. This isn't about regret. This is about something deeper. Something the philosopher, Søren Kierkegaard, understood in 1844 when he wrote about the dizziness of freedom. He called it anxiety of choice. The paralyzing terror that comes from infinite possibility. Because here's the truth, nobody tells you. Every time you choose one path, you murder every other path you could have taken. And unlike death, which happens once, you perform these executions daily. Every morning you wake up and kill alternate versions of yourself. Most of the time, you don't even notice. But sometimes late at night, or during a quiet moment you feel it, that phantom grief. That nameless sadness for the people you could have been. Today, we're going to confront something most people spend their entire lives avoiding. The grief of never becoming, and I'm going to tell you why. Despite how dark this sounds, it might be the most liberating thing you ever hear. Because if life is short, if these potential selves are dying anyway, why the hell are you killing the wrong ones? The philosophy of infinite possibility. Søren Kierkegaard was a 19th century Danish philosopher who never married the woman he loved, never took the risks he wanted, and spent his entire life paralyzed by infinite possibility. He understood something most people don't. Freedom is terrifying. In his work, The Concept of Anxiety, 1844, Kierkegaard wrote about the dizziness of freedom, the vertigo you feel when standing at the edge of all possible futures. He said, "Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom, which emerges when the spirit wants to posit the synthesis and freedom looks down into its own possibility, laying hold of finiteness to support itself." Translation: when you realize you can be anything, you become terrified you'll choose wrong, so you freeze. You choose nothing. And in choosing nothing, you've already chosen the death of all those potential selves. William James, the American philosopher and psychologist, expanded on this in the late 1800s. He called it the moral tragedy of choice. James wrote, "When you have to make a choice and don't make it, that in itself is a choice. Think about that. Not deciding is deciding. Waiting for the right time is choosing to let time kill your options. Saying I am not ready is saying I choose to become someone who was never ready." Jean-Paul Sartre took it even further in the 20th century with his concept of bad faith, the lie we tell ourselves to avoid the crushing weight of freedom. Sartre said we pretend we're not free. We blame circumstances, other people, society, timing anything to escape the truth that we are always choosing, and our choices define who we become. He wrote in Being and Nothingness. Man is condemned to be free, because once thrown into the world, he is responsible for everything he does. Condemned to be free. That's not liberation, that's a life sentence. Because with freedom comes responsibility, and with responsibility comes guilt. The guilt of all those versions of you that you sentenced in existence. The graveyard of selves. Let me tell you about David. David is 42. He works in corporate finance, makes good money, has a house, 2 kids, a stable marriage. But sometimes, late at night, David sits in his car in the garage after everyone else is asleep and just stares at the guitar in the backseat, the one he hasn't touched in 18 years. Because at 24, David had a choice. His band had an offer, not a big one, but enough to tour for a year, record an album, see what happened. It wasn't guaranteed success, but it was a shot. David chose the safe path. Finance job, stability, retirement plan, and he killed the musician. Now, David doesn't regret his children. He doesn't regret his wife. But there's a version of David that never existed, the one who played dive bars, struggled, maybe failed, maybe succeeded, the one who at least tried. That David is dead, and the living David mourns him. This is what Kierkegaard meant by the sickness unto death, not physical death, but the death of possibility. The slow suffocation of all the people you could have been under the weight of the person you chose to become. Or consider Sarah. Sarah is 35. She's an attorney. She's successful, respected, financially secure. She was engaged once, at 26, to a man she loved deeply. But he wanted to move to a small town, start a family, live a simple life. Sarah wanted career, city, ambition. She chose career. He married someone else. Now Sarah is successful. Yes, but she's also alone. And sometimes she wonders about the Sarah who chose love over ambition. The Sarah who's 35 with 3 kids in a small house in Vermont, maybe struggling financially, but laughing at the dinner table. That Sarah is dead. And the living Sarah doesn't know if she made the right choice. The American poet Robert Frost captured this perfectly in The Road Not Taken, 1916. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. People quote that as if it's triumphant. It's not. Read the full poem. The speaker is standing in a forest, staring at 2 equally valid paths, knowing that whichever he chooses, he'll spend the rest of his life wondering about the other one. He'll tell himself the path he took made all the difference, but he'll never know. That's the tragedy. You never know. The research on regret psychology has studied this extensively. Dr. Daniel Gilbert, Harvard psychologist and author of Stumbling on Happiness, found that people regret inactions more than actions. You don't regret the business you started that failed. You regret the business you never started. You don't regret the person you asked out who rejected you. You regret the person you never asked out. Gilbert's research shows the pain of action fades. The pain of inaction compounds. Why? Because failed actions have closure. You tried, it didn't work, you move on. But inaction, that's infinite possibility trapped in amber. You'll spend your entire life wondering what if. Dr. Thomas Gilovich, Cornell psychologist, studied regret over decades. His findings? In the short-term weeks, months, people regret actions more. Why did I quit my job? In the long-term years, decades, people regret inactions more. Why didn't I quit my job sooner? The things you didn't do haunt you longer than the things you did. Bronnie Ware, an Australian palliative care nurse, spent years with dying patients. She wrote the top 5 regrets of the dying. The number 1 regret, not the mistakes people made, not the failures. Number 1, regret of the dying. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Translation: I wish I hadn't killed so many versions of myself to please other people. Number 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Number 5, I wish I had let myself be happier. Every single one is about a potential self that was sacrificed for safety, approval, or fear. The dying don't regret risks. They regret safety. They regret the murders of possibility they committed in the name of practicality. The dark reality here's the part nobody wants to hear. You will die having not become most of the people you could have been. That's not pessimism. That's mathematics. Every moment presents infinite choices. You can only choose one. The rest die. You cannot be both the person who stayed and the person who left. You cannot be both the person who risked everything and the person who played it safe. You cannot marry everyone you loved, pursue every career that interested you, live in every city that called to you. You are finite. Possibility is infinite. You will lose. The philosopher Simone de Beauvoir wrote about this in The Ethics of Ambiguity, 1947. She said we must embrace the tragedy of choice without falling into despair. Her answer: authentic living. Stop pretending you're not choosing. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop waiting for permission. Choose deliberately. Choose authentically. If you're going to kill potential selves, at least kill them for your reasons, not someone else's. Albert Camus addressed this in The Myth of Sisyphus. His answer to the absurdity of existence: revolt. Don't surrender to the tragedy. Don't pretend it isn't tragic. Acknowledge the absurdity. You will die with infinite unlived lives inside you on. Live defiantly anyway, Camus wrote. The struggle itself toward the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. Translation: you won't become everything, but you can become something. Choose that something and commit. The choice, so what do you do with this? First, stop lying to yourself about later. Later is where potential selves go to die. Someday is a cemetery. If you want to write a book, write it now. If you want to travel, book the ticket now. If you love someone, tell them now. Because later you'll be older, more tired, more afraid. Later you'll have more responsibilities, more excuses, more reasons to kill the person who takes risks. Later, you'll be attending the funeral of another version of yourself. Second, grieve the selves you've already killed. Seriously, mourn them, acknowledge them. The musician you didn't become, the adventurer you didn't become, the lover you didn't choose. They deserved to exist. They didn't. That's sad. Feel it, then let it go. You can't resurrect the dead. You can only live for the living, including the future selves you're still capable of becoming. Third, choose violence. Not literal violence, existential violence. Stop being gentle with the wrong dreams. Stop preserving possibilities you'll never actualize. Kill them. You want to write? Kill the version of you that wanted to be a doctor but never tried. Not keep it as a backup, kill it. You want love? Kill the version of you that stays single forever. Don't keep your options open. Close them. Commit. Kierkegaard called this the leap of faith. Not religious faith, existential faith. Faith that the self you choose to become is worth the death of all other selves. Fourth, accept that you'll regret it either way. Choose career. You'll wonder about family. Choose family. You'll wonder about career. Choose adventure. You'll wonder about stability. Choose stability. You'll wonder about adventure. There is no choice without loss. But here's the liberating part. If you're going to regret it anyway, you might as well regret the thing you actually wanted. Would you rather regret trying and failing, or regret never trying at all? Gilovich's research is clear. You'll regret the inaction more. Conclusion: you're going to die. Not someday, relatively soon. Statistically, you've got maybe 30,000 days left, maybe fewer, maybe tomorrow. And when you die, you'll be surrounded by ghosts. The you who became an artist, the you who moved to another country, the you who said yes instead of no, the you who took the risk. All those potential selves will be there, crowding around your deathbed, asking one question: why did you kill me? And if your answer is because I was scared, or because other people expected something else, or because the timing was unperfect, those ghosts will haunt you forever. But if your answer is because I chose something I wanted more than I wanted you, then at least you can die knowing you lived on your terms. You will grieve the lives you didn't live. That's unavoidable. But grief for a path not chosen because you were afraid is different from grief for a path not chosen because you chose something else deliberately. One is tragedy, the other is just reality. Kierkegaard spent his life paralyzed by infinite possibility. Sartre spent his demanding radical freedom. Camus spent his in defiant joy despite absurdity. All three agreed on one thing: you must choose. Not choosing is choosing. Waiting is choosing. Saying I'll decide later is deciding now to let time decide for you. And time is a murderer. It kills indiscriminately. So if potential selves are dying anyway, if that graveyard inside you is filling up, whether you like it or not, kill the right ones. Mourn the musician if you chose medicine and meant it. Mourn the stable life if you chose adventure and meant it. Mourn the lover if you chose yourself and meant it. But don't mourn a life you didn't live, because you were too afraid to choose. Because the only thing worse than killing potential selves is killing them for nothing. Life is short. Possibility is infinite. You are finite. So choose. Choose now. Choose violently. Choose authentically. And when the ghosts come in, you can look them in the eye and say, I killed you for something I loved more, and I lived that love fully. That's not happiness. That's not closure. But it's close enough to meaning. And in a world where every choice is a funeral, meaning is all you get. Now go. Take the leap. Kill the wrong dreams. And live.